So the one thing I can say about our next guest is she's unpredictable, she's sometimes provocative, and every time I see her, she's got a new hairdo and a new dress on. Let's meet Jill.
Am I supposed to be down there? Be the bitchy Jill.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Be the bitchy Jill. I'm a total wrinkled mess, and I hate my hair today. All right,
well, you
goodbye.
can change the hair color on your way down.
You change that as much as you change studios. I'm good. Good to see you.
See, I told you she always has on a new dress and a new hairdo.
I know, and it's not a good hair day, I'm just saying.
All right, so let's cut right to the chase. Why are you trying so hard to become Abby's new favorite mom?
This is who I am. I'm a dance mom, and my goal is to get the best for my children. When I first met Abby, she said, I am the best for your children. Bring them to me, I'll make them stars, I'll do what I can for them. And so far, she has. Now, her delivery sometimes is a little rough, and we've had, you know, it gets a little volatile, but I was really pleased to hear you say how you have seen Kendall grow. I needed Abby to see that, and I think it took a while, maybe a whole season for her to realize Kendall really has a lot of potential.
So because Kendall was in class, kudos to you, good girl.
Well, she wants to be there, though.
Okay,
all
right.
She wants to dance.
But it it takes two.
So she just said that those other kids don't really want to be there. That's what I heard.
Did I say?
All right, back to Kendall. Where do you expect to see Kendall on that pyramid this season?
At the top.
Okay, but the whole time that Kendall's in class, Jill's visiting mommy at Candy Apples. Jill, the studio hopper.
I think every kid in there, correct me if I'm wrong, have been at the top of that pyramid except one. Kendall.
All right, well, let's hope that happens this season. So, Jill, everybody's taken their turn in the hot seat. It's your turn.
No.
So who has a question for Jill?
Hi, Jill. Kendall beat Chloe at one of the competitions prior to nationals, so why wasn't she able to compete during nationals?
That's a good question. Before nationals, the plan was you had solo week. Whoever did well that week got the solo for nationals. And Kendall, as you know, had beaten Chloe. She should have had the solo, and she didn't get it.
All right, so let's take one more question. Who else has a question for Jill?
Hi, Jill. On the show, you state how much money you spent on counseling. Would you suggest that for any other dance moms?
Well, actually, it was kind of a joke. I really don't send my kid to counseling.
Hey, dance class is cheaper than rehab.
These questions have been way too easy. You ready for one more? All right, come on, somebody ask a tough one.
Hi, Jill. The bloggers are obsessed with your many looks on the show.
Well, those many looks go with those many personalities.
I was just curious, have you had any work done?
Well, I know, wow.
Whoa.
I have not had surgery. And if I did, I wouldn't look like this. I'd look amazing. You know, just your typical, and I think all the moms on the show have had some Botox and filler. Yeah, we talk about it. I mean,
I'm not a mom.
All right, so I've got a question for Abby. So, Abby, what's going on between you and Kathy right now?
Is she still eating my dust? I don't know. We went to nationals. We won. She conceded. She said, hey, the number was excellent. She walked out. Frankly, I thought I'd never see her again.
And then what happened?
Well, you invited her to come on the show.
That's for sure I did. So our next guest is someone I like to call the Sue Sylvester of dance moms. She burns up the blogs when she's on the show. She's our favorite little candy apple, all the way from Canton, Ohio. It's time for Kathy. Razzle dazzle.
Having a bad hair day,
Razzle
honey.
dazzle.
so are you.
You're having a bad hair day.
I hate that bitch. I hate her.
We missed you, Kathy.
You missed me. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Well, I did. Anyway.
I haven't.
So listen.
I know you haven't.
So before we get to it, so Kathy, you had a very difficult competition season last year, and yet you are determined to beat Abby. And she just said before you came out here that you were eating her dust. So are you going to beat her this year or what?
Well, there's opportunities for me to have my group compete against her. But that one single little win just burned my fire. So it's just made it ignite, and I got a taste of that victory. you know, every dog has their day.
I think she might beat you this year. What are you going to do if she beats you?
The way these kids are rehearsing and missing class and away every weekend doing their thing.
Just have an excuse.
Absolutely, she probably can beat me.
And don't you love the way she framed that? The way she's going to beat you is because she has
Sure, she's got a justifiable
creatively,
excuse.
artistically, no. I would love to introduce Maddie performing Piece of My Heart.
I wonder if you ever thought of me and how I'm doing. And I wonder if you ever said, gosh, I miss her, and I just threw it away. But it's alright, 'cause you still have that little piece in my heart. And it's alright, 'cause I was strong, and I let you go. But you will always have that little piece in my heart. I wonder if you ever thought of me and how I'm doing.
Thank you, Maddie. That was absolutely fantastic. Kathy, you just saw Maddie perform. Tell us your professional opinion.
I definitely think that Maddie is a natural talent. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, I just think that Abby puts a lot of stock in Maddie, and I think that maybe sometimes she should look beyond her horizons to other dancers. And
You
maybe
mean from
not
other studios?
No, not from other studios, because that, my dear, would be soliciting, which you always accuse me of. Not at other dance studios. I mean, you have some fine talent in your own studio that maybe get off the moms and try to focus more on the kids.
Kathy, you have never said anything in the world that I agree with, and I agree with that.
Kathy, everybody's taken their turn in the hot seat. It's your turn to be in the hot seat. So who has a question for Kathy?
Hi. There's some rumors out there that Christy choked you at last year's Nationals.
Whoa!
You want me to answer that?
That's a hot question.
Okay. Yes.
And I told you should have sued the crap out of her.
Yeah, but why did Christy choke you? Who instigated it?
All right, it was our last competition of the season.
They had just lost badly. Okay, go ahead.
I'll just let her answer.
Go ahead.
The ALDC girls were chanting, you know, rotten apples and all the apple jokes
No, we were
that we
chanting
hear.
1, 2, 3, we were Abby Lee, which we do all the time.
No, you were
outside
not.
in front of the theater.
You were
yes,
not.
we were.
After we had
You
won.
were yelling.
After we had won.
ALDC.
It was a
ALDC.
celebratory
No,
chant.
it was not. It was directed directly to us. Anyhow,
You happened to walk
do you
by.
want me to answer the question? Then you need to tell these ladies, oh, excuse me, you need to tell these broads to shut up. Okay, so anyhow, as I was saying,
Did they even use that word broad anymore? That's like from the olden days.
Oh, well, you're not too far behind me, and neither are you. Okay, so anyhow, Christy was on me, you know, on those sparkly high heels that she wears. And I had a bottle of water, and I thought, oh, if she comes near me, it's going on her, because Sparky needs cooled down. So I unscrewed the lid.
Well, you also know when you throw the water on the witch, they melt.
You're right, thank you. And there she was, and I turned around and threw the water at her. And then she did this. Do you know, if you watch the show, this is always in people's noses. You know, always in people's noses.
Right, they get the point.
And I slapped her hand away, and she came after me.
Wait, I'm gonna choke that bitch when we go out there. I'm kidding.
I know you. I'm like,
Did you choke Abby instead of Kathy?
And I had bruises on my clavicle bone.
Well, you fell off the curb.
Well, she pushed me off the curb.
But she didn't come after you.
Yeah, she most certainly did. She pushed me right into a tree.
I just want to know where were my cameras?
Yeah, but what did they say about her choreographer who was chastising
And swearing at her kid? Yeah.